Hello and welcome to this brief stroll round my newly completed 00 gauge garden railway. I had the initial idea on the 22nd of April 2011. Construction started in August 2012 after extensive planning and sourcing materials. Here are the results of my efforts over the last 9 years. Now let's have a look around the layout. In view now is the first section where track was laid and wiring installed. The curve is tight due to wall geometry. Note the track interval is wider to allow for end throw and centre throw of the longer Mark III stock. The bridge is here, more about this later. We continue with two double junctions set back to back. The main line curves right and the straight through route was intended as access to the terminal station. This station has been dropped from the plan and now this section is used as a turn back and siding. Continuing round, here is the connection from the first section we saw. This loop with associated crossover is most useful for turning locos and whole trains. As we follow the main line, this section curves to follow the wall. The next junction was installed in 2014 to create the temporary party loop. This featured in the July 2014 video. As you can see, one turnout has been plain lined because the electrical connections have failed. Reinstallation of the turnout will feature in a forthcoming video. The line deviates from the wall to pass around the back of the tree. Just in view now are the two IP66 enclosures containing the accessory decoders for the frog switching and point motors which drive the crossover and the double junction, which provides access to the station. The needles from the tree above get everywhere. A 90-degree curve takes us onto the station boards. These are three removable 8-foot, that's 2.5 metre long boards to allow the use of the patio area for parties and similar gatherings. There are two main lines to the left of the view, three platform roads and a centre road for storage and loco release. The main S&C layout in the station approach was fabricated for me by Patrick Nichols. See his YouTube videos. There is an identical layout at the other end. Platform work continues to install lighting canopies and prevent tree needles accumulating under the platform sections. The track power switching is achieved by means of GaugeMaster GM 500D relays. These relays and the point motors are hidden under the platforms. Platform gauging to clear for class 158 stock is still required. This view shows the difference between work completed and work still to do. A further 90-degree curve takes us from the station back onto the main line. As with the other end of the station, there's a double junction with crossover, and you can see the decoders are mounted in the single box under the rhubarb. This is the sunny side of the garden, and high temperatures can affect rails and the plastic board. This is an expansion joint using a pair of Pico PL43 expansion switches and a wide joint between boards. Here we have an example of the control cable and associated track feed junction box. As we are on the sunny side of the garden, here is a good example of the influence of sunlight on track alignment. The board and track are fixed at one end and allowed to move during the day as the sun moves round. I tend to run trains mid to late afternoon on sunny days, but there are no restrictions when cloudy. Currently, as you can see, 17 points have been removed for repairs and plain line installed. Next to this section of track there's our garden pond. This presents a problem for maintenance and to some degree train operations. In the original layout design there was a twin track planned here, but from experience on the temporary party layout it was clear that additional capacity was required to lay over slower trains to allow faster ones to pass. The design change introduced two loops between the main lines which are on the outside. The centre right loop in the view is bidirectional and can be used as a crossover with capacity for 2 locos and 10 carriages. Then the 4 tracks merge into 2 before traversing the bridge. This comprised 2 timber cantilever beams hinged on rising butt hinges with a central support. The bridge swings back to allow access to the garden. It can be totally removed for parties or other use of the garden. I can give a brief demonstration of bridge operation. The centre joint is curved and is slid back and lifted to release. This allows the bridge to swing back. The electrical track power is provided by 4 springs in the abutments and 4 brass plates on the bridge section. Closing the bridge engages the springs at each end. We check the track alignment at one end and then the other. Once the bridge is closed, there are no other electrical connections required. Finally, here is a general view of my railway, which has taken 9 years to complete. Thank you for watching.